Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today we have our first update to the theme team tier list. And real quick, we do have a couple of house cleaning items. The first one is the shout out of the day, and that goes to my man Parker Steele for commenting the emoji of the day on last video. If you want a chance to be shouted out in the next one, comment any monkey emoji for a chance to be shouted out in the next video. And also, if you guys do want to be a part of the I Rate Your Team series, that tweet will be going live today, or on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Link down in the description. Follow me on Twitter. That tweet will be going live today at about 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Just send me a high quality screenshot of your team, and you have a chance to be part of episode number 5, I believe, of I Rate Your Teams. But yes, let's get started. So here is the old theme team tier list, and we did have an S plus tier. That is no longer going to be a thing because here is the new tier list. And if you guys don't know how these videos work and how they're different than normal tier lists, like position tier list, I only do cover the top 10 theme teams. So here's what we have so far. Right now, we're getting closer to 50-50 range. And as you can see, there's a good amount of movement, actually. There's a pretty good amount of movement. Yeah, like Lions really dropped. Niners, you don't see them on here anymore because they're in the top 10 now. Even Cowboys, crazy movers. Even Steelers and Giants up to A tier is pretty good too. I kind of spoil Steelers. No, but you can't see them. So yeah, Steelers in A tier too. So, or S tier, whichever one they end up in. But yeah, that is how the last tier list compares to this one. And now let's just get started. Coming in at number 10 is the Falcons theme team. So the Falcons theme team is a theme team. You're going to hear me say this word a good amount throughout the video if you're new to Madden. Well, what potential means is how good a theme team will eventually become and how safe it is to upgrade to that team because they will get better. And when I go back to the tier list, I'll show you a couple teams that I do like as far as potential goes that aren't in the top 10. But yes, I like the Falcons a lot. They're really good right now. They have Mike Vick, Devin Hester, Brian Finneran, and Drake London. Even him with +1 speed is still viable. 85 speed, like you're kind of pushing it. He's got good size. But again, he's a wide receiver 3. You could always just cheat there. But Finneran and Hester on the theme team. Any theme team that gets Mike Vick's a big W. And Mike Vick and cards like Mike Vick, like even like Warren Moon, these guys that can move a little bit, there's a big benefit in having them on a theme team compared to a guy like Aaron Rodgers, for example, who's a little bit slower. And the difference between 71 and 72 speed doesn't matter because it's not like you're going to start using him as a rollout guy with a plus, with a 72 speed all of a sudden. So yeah, do keep that in mind. I do value mobile quarterbacks, but also, like I was talking about, the potential of this team is really good. Probably won't get a Julio, but the last couple of years we have been getting Roddy White cards, and they also do get Eric Dickerson. I know I'm not going to say like Michael Turner and guys like that, but I will say Eric Dickerson, and I can guarantee you a Bijan Robinson upgrade, and maybe even a Cordero Patterson upgrade. For some reason, EA loves this guy. I mean, I like him too, but it's a little bit wild how many upgrades and like how many good cards he's gotten in the past. Also a good offensive line. And you have Tony Gonzalez and Kyle Pitts that will get potential upgrades this year. On defense, they're pretty good. You have Jesse Bates and Deion Sanders, even AJ Terrell with Bud Dupree off the edge. I'm not going to lie, the defense could use a little bit of work, but it's the offense and the potential of the offense that puts them into the top 10 for me. So with that being said, the Falcons, right in front of the Giants up there at A tier. And yeah, some good potential theme teams as far as basing them strictly off potential. I, of course, like the Raiders. The Raiders theme team is always really good. They always find a way. I mean, they have Bo Jackson now. Cole Pepper will get a card. Jerry Rice is already in the game. Randy Moss is probably coming from most feared. So, the Raiders is always a good team to switch to. And if you want, they're probably the best potential one, honestly. And, whenever they do get good cards, all their theme team card prices spike. So I would build it right now. It's kind of in between. Kind of in between promos. So I would, if you want to build a Raiders team, this would be probably the best time to do it. Also, the Jets always get good upgrades, good running back upgrades. Brandon Marshall will get a card. They already have Mike Vick. They have Cromartie. Revis will get an upgrade. Sauce will get upgrades. Ronnie Lott will get upgrades. Steve Atwater will get upgrades. Who knows? Jason Taylor, John Abraham, guys like that could get upgrades for the Jets, and they're like pretty much locked. So especially guys like Ronnie Lott and Steve Atwater and Darrelle Revis, they're already in. I mean, Revis is already in the game. Ronnie Lott's been in the game for as long as I can remember. And like CJ 2K, LaDainian Tomlinson, even maybe like a Brees upgrade, Brandon, like guys like that, Plaxico Burress. So Jets have good potential there. Who else do I like? I mean, Packers always, and Packers probably aren't the best. I do like Lions. Lions have decent potential because if they get a Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders upgrade, that's the only team that both those guys played for. So there's a lot of value in a Lions team. I have one right now. They're not good right now. I'm aware of that. They've actually gotten a lot of upgrades, but they just haven't been good upgrades, unfortunately. Yeah, Lions down there at C tier, but they have good potential. Even Washington, they get good potential normally. Who else do I like? And that's probably really it as far as like good potential goes down here. I'll talk about potential the more we kind of go through these cards or these teams. But those are some of my favorites right there. At number 9, we have the Dolphins theme team. And admittedly, this team definitely does have their fair share of holes. But they get Tyreek Hill. And to me, any team that's able to boost the fastest card in the game needs their respect. And Tyreek Hill potentially 91 to 92 speed, depending on how you build this team. Probably only 91, though, because you really can't use this team 50-50 right now. I mean, they have some decent names. You probably can't use Minka right now at 84 speed. You probably can't even use him. Say you can use. Elliott you can definitely use. Eli Apple can even, I guess you could use him if you need to in the slot and use some cheats there. But as a 25, they can make it shake. They definitely can. And they should get upgrades. It's looking like the Dolphins are going to have an amazing season. And also they have a tight end, which is kind of rare. One that's actually pretty decent. I mean, I like Gronk a lot better, obviously, but it's a pretty decent little tight end right there. And a pretty solid offensive line. 285s and 84. Maybe like a Tua upgrade. Even Waddle, I think, has 84 speed or 85 speed, which is pretty good. So, Dolphins team, I think they're definitely in the top 10. They're one of the weaker complete teams, but they get Tyreek Hill, so that definitely does help them a lot because you already have the fastest card in the game by like 2 speed, and then you can give them basically plus 3 speed to plus 4 speed on this team. So, the Dolphins definitely need some respect and also decent potential. Decent, like not the craziest. Like, definitely, I think the Falcons have better potential, but, I mean, there's a chance that if the Dolphins do good, they'll get a bunch of, like, current upgrades and guys like that. Maybe, like, a Ricky Williams. I'm probably missing some guys. Even Brandon Marshall played for them, too, so I'm probably missing a lot of names, though. Like, Surtain, maybe? I don't know. Coming in at number 8 is the Eagles theme team, and this right here is one of the best offensive theme teams in the game. 50-50, it might be a little bit tough to run them because of this defense. They simply just have their holes across the board. I mean, Hargrave's nice. But outside of that, I mean, maybe Nolan Smith you're using. You can't really use CJ Gardner-Johnson at this point on a 25. So, yeah, on offense, they're elite. Like, you see these guys here. Mike Vick, Slim Reaper, Finneran getting a speed boost. What did they give Albert? 85 speed on Albert at 6'5" is really nice, too. So, and a very complete offensive line. So, offensively, they're really good. I would try to pair this team with a 25 team that's very good on defense. Of course, Campus Heroes is pretty good right now. Might be a little bit expensive to kind of switch to, but defensively, I mean, you get Sean Taylor, Joey Porter. You can run some guys at backup too, but going 25-25 is pretty easy with this team because you also do get the 2X and 3X guys. Maybe even 4X on this team. I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember, but building a little Campus Heroes squad is definitely nice. And I have seen a pretty good amount of Eagles and 25 Campus Hero squads. And, 25 Campus Heroes is pretty good. And I can't find the Eagles now. But, offensively, top tier. Defensively, kind of in that C tier range. But offensively, they have an S tier offense with a C tier defense, which, to me, having Mike Vick, I'm still going to put them at A tier. They're still definitely in the top 10. So those really don't average out. But it's definitely a fun team. And again, the Eagles will probably get fed. They got fed last year, so it might happen again. They were nasty last year. Coming in at number 7 is the Ravens theme team, and between the Ravens theme team and the Eagles theme team, you could swap them. I had a hard time picking one over the other, so you could put the Eagles at 8, or the Eagles at 7, and the Ravens at 8. I feel like these two teams are very swappable because they're both pretty solid. I mean, like, the Eagles are really good on offense, but then the Ravens have a good defense. With Deion Sanders and Ed Reed and Deshaun Elliott's nice. They have Jadeveon Clowney, Odafe Owe. What speed did they give this card here? 83 speed is pretty good off the edge. Give him +1. That's nice. Trenton Simpson's a good, could be a good user. 85 speed if you want to use a linebacker. So I like the Ravens balance because they are fairly balanced. Even this card's a little bit slept on. Potentially 86 speed. But you have RG3 on this team with Shannon Sharp as well and Darren Waller. So you have three good tight ends. If you need to, you can play Darren Waller at receiver. And then you just kind of figure it out. Maybe put Odell here. And then you have Devin Hester, Odell, and Darren Waller, which is a pretty good receiving core right there with a good offensive line and a good quarterback. So then you have Shannon Sharp too. So I feel like Eagles and Ravens are pretty swappable. And as far as their potential goes, it's pretty decent. They normally don't get the best receivers and running backs. There's only 1 or 2 upgrades that are guaranteed for them. Like Ricky Williams or Steve Smith or, guys like that. They already got Shannon Sharp and Darren Waller and even Devin Hester. So I will put the Ravens at A tier, but you can definitely swap them and the Eagles. The Eagles very strong on offense, not that good on defense. Ravens are quite balanced with pretty decent potential. So I'm going to leave it like this for now, but the Ravens team is always, pretty good. And they always usually get mobile quarterbacks. Guys like Randall Cunningham, Lamar Jackson, or RG3. Three very mobile quarterbacks that you will get upgrades throughout the year. So they're not a bad team to switch to. At number 6, we have the Steelers theme team. One of actually the most underrated theme team in the game right now is the Steelers. These boys have been eating, going crazy. They got Mike Vick, Jerome Bettis, Franco Harris. George Pickens cards are starting to circulate now, so you could actually use George Pickens. And you have Juju Smith-Schuster, with a speed boost. This offensive lineman right here, Kendrick Green, has 77 speed, so being able to boost him's a big W. Even Nate Herbig, you have 2 good offensive linemen. Then on defense, you have Patrick Peterson, Joey Porter, Minka Fitzpatrick, Javon Hargrave. Even Splain's card is decent, but also like TJ Watt is the guy we're looking at here. 86 TJ Watt's pretty solid. So yeah, this team, 2 good corners, 2 good receivers, 2 good running backs with Mike Vick. I mean, this is an S tier theme team, potentially A. I might lean A because they have holes. I want to give them S, but I don't know if I can, because you guys see the holes on this team, like Minka, DeMonte KZ, Cameron Sutton. Those are all holes. They're strong where they're strong, but they're weak where they're weak. There's no middle here with this team. So even like Allen Robinson, right? So I'll put him at A tier, but right now this team, 25-25, where you can not use those weak parts of the team, crazy. They're going to be crazy. Patrick Peterson, Joey Porter. They look good. A very fun team as well with two good running backs. If you run a scheme like mine where you're running 2 running backs in that backfield, Jerome Bettis and Franco Harris is not a fun combo to be facing. At number 5, we have the Cowboys theme team. And this team is the opposite of the Eagles team. I mean, their offense is decent. Brandon Cooks did get his +1, so he's got 87 base speed on a theme team 88, which is really good. But they're kind of opposite of the Eagles because on offense, they're pretty weak. They have a lot of holes. They haven't got many upgrades. But there's good potential on this team. They're the Cowboys. They will get, maybe Mike Irvin, CeeDee Lamb will get upgrades. Des Bryant was mentioned early, like before Madden 24 came out as like a test player. So, probably Des will get a card this year. But on defense, this team is like tough. I mean, just because of the 3 corners, sorry. So you have 3 corners and 2 fast edge rushers in Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Ware. So on defense, if you build this team 50-50, like I said, 50-50s are few and far between right now. You really can't run them super effectively yet. So I'm more leaning towards 25 teams. And the Cowboys are one of the best. You have 3 top tier corners. Giving them all +1 speed. You have an 88 speed Micah Parsons. DeMarcus Ware with edge threat going up to 87 speed. So just a crazy team on defense. On offense, all you really have is Brandon Cooks. But if it's 25, if you're using all these guys on defense, I mean, you're set. You are literally set. They're all demons. On the theme team, and they all play for the Cowboys. So although the Cowboys have a fair share of holes, that defense is super strong. And also Cowboys, one of those teams with super strong potential. Usually with potential, you want to look at teams that have a rich history, and the Cowboys are definitely that team that have a rich history. They just tend to get more legends and things like that, like Charles Haley. I'm just thinking of names. I don't even know. Dion already has his upgrade. Who did we get last year? It wasn't Rod Woodson. It was something Woodson. Oh, I see his face, bro. I literally see Darren Woodson. I got it. Darren Woodson. He had the Ring of Honor card last year. Maybe he'll get another upgrade this year. He was nice for the Cowboys team, but Cowboys team good right now on defense and will get a bunch of upgrades. Coming in at number 4 is the Chiefs theme team. And take everything I said about the Dolphins and apply it to this team. Anytime you're able to boost the fastest receiver in the game, that theme team's going to have a lot of value. So you have Tyreek Hill, Rashee Rice, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Smith Marset here. 4 good receivers. 4 really good receivers. You have Warren Moon on this team, who's still a top 2 quarterback, maybe top 3. I think top 2, though. You have Travis Kelce, who's not that good right now, but will get upgrades, a solid offensive line. And then on defense, I won't lie, this team is definitely trending down right now as far as getting upgrades. The only guy I can think of for this team to get an upgrade is just Revis on defense. I was trying to think of some more defensive names, like defensive legend names for this team. And I thought of guys like maybe Derek Johnson, Tamba Hali, Derek Thomas maybe. I'm just trying to think of some names here, but there's like linebackers and like defensive tackles, right? So, and Tamba Hali's not a lock, by the way. I don't know why. Like, I'm just thinking of players that I can remember that played for the Chiefs. And, I can't really think of any more defensive players for them. On offense, they'll always be good, and they're really good right now. I mean, 4 like S-tier receivers. I mean, maybe Smith Marset's A-tier, but 3 S-tier receivers on this team. You have the fastest receiver in the game. You have Warren Moon. So offensively, as a 25, they're super good. And like I said with the Eagles, you could take this team and put it with a Campus Heroes team right now, and they'd be really, really nasty. So with that being said, Chiefs team up to S-tier. Maybe even pair them with Dallas. Chiefs Dallas sounds like a hell team. You have 3 S-tier corners with 3 S-tier receivers. You combine them, you might have a 10 team right there. I mean, that sounds nasty to me. That sounds very nasty. And both teams have good potential. Cowboys probably better potential on defense, and then Chiefs good potential on offense, which is that's a good mix. I do like this team a lot. Cowboys Chiefs might be a match made in heaven. So up next we have the Niners theme team, and looking at this team right now, I think I may have overrated them. You know, I will admit when I'm wrong. I looked through all this stuff last night, and looking at them right now, I mean, the Niners will always have good potential, right? They always will. Randy Moss is coming. If you want a Niners team, I would build it before most feared because Randy Moss will get an upgrade. But looking at it right now, I mean, they might be just A tier. I may have, I don't know what I was thinking when I put this team at S tier yesterday, but they're not. So we're going to push everyone up a spot. I'm going to put the Niners theme team like behind the Eagles, believe it or not. I think I don't know what I was on. I don't know what I was on when I saw this team last night. I don't know. I'm very confused. I mean, they're good, but all they got is Jerry. Ayuk's only 85 speed. Sherman, I guess I'll put him like, I think there might make sense because the Eagles offense is really good. But it's like their potential's good. I'm gonna put them there. I'll leave them there. I'll put them between Ravens and Eagles. I overrated them. I'll be honest, they were too high. Coming in at number 2 is the Seattle Seahawks theme team, a team with really good potential, and with how stale content's been on this game and cards that aren't really that good coming out, they've kind of stayed near the top. They have. I mean, you still have Sherman, who's still good. Tariq Woolen, you can still play him. They got Jaron Reed. They got Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, Bobby Wagner, I probably wouldn't use on a team, even if he's on a theme team. The card's just not good. You still have Joey Blunt as a user, Cam Chancellor over the top. So you still got guys. You still a very complete, well-rounded theme team, both on offense and defense. Even with Kenneth Walker, you can still run Franco, obviously, but Moon, a potential DK Metcalf upgrades. You already have Hester and Jerry, so yeah, I think Seattle still at the top, still near the top. To me, a no-brainer here. But honestly, you can maybe debate the Chiefs. The Chiefs are on the rise. If the Chiefs get a couple defensive upgrades, just know they have potential to be number 1 right now, which is crazy. The season's barely started. Usually the Chiefs get upgrades because they're good, and they're already near the top. So, you know, a couple defensive upgrades. I'm not sure who that could be. Maybe like Shavarius Ward, you know, guys like that might get some cheeky upgrades. But maybe like a Jarius Sneed upgrade. But, you know, they can move up a lot with like a couple defensive player upgrades. And man, I won't lie. This is normally where I will say the number 1 theme team, but they're kind of the same thing as the Niners. This is why I sleep on these theme team tier lists, because I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, this team isn't really what I thought it was when I was looking at it last night. And the main reason is I think they have an S-tier offense. Patriots have an S-tier offense. Potentially could be number 1 with this offense. You have Brandon Cooks, Chad Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster. Gronk is one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion, right now. Can play anywhere. Slot receiver, fullback, tight end. Put him in your offense and he will make plays. He will make it shake for you out there. So Gronk with a +1's big W. Also, very good potential on this team as well, with some good offensive linemen. But then I go to the defense right now and I'm like, even J.C. Jackson's card on a theme team isn't anything to write home about. Stephon Gilmore, great card. Don't get me wrong. Good potential for upgrades with Darrelle Revis and Ty Law. And there's one more guy I can't think of right now who played for them. I think it's like I can't think of who it is. I'm forgetting his name. I'm pretty sure they have one more corner that's solid that I just can't think of right now. I just cannot think of it. Maybe not. But let me know. Oh, Asante Samuel maybe is what I'm thinking of. It might be Asante. But yeah, Kyle Duggar can still be no, he really can't be used. This is what I mean. This is why I sleep on these things. So Patriots team, I'm actually going to move them down a little bit. I would normally put them at 1, but I don't think they are 1. I'm going to adjust this here. I do not think the Patriots team is number 1. I'm going to go ahead and put them at number 4, move Seattle up, and again, the Chiefs are a defensive upgrade away from number 1. So if in the coming days we see some kind of Chiefs upgrade, just know that they're number 1. Right now, I don't think they are, but those, 4 good receivers with Warren Moon, and then you have a decent defense is really valuable. And again, there's really no super complete team, but to me, yeah, Seahawks is definitely the most complete. So a couple movers. Like I said, my process is I usually do the theme team tier list the night before, sleep on it, wake up, and then I just start recording. And when I go through the teams, I'm like, oh, that one might be a little bit worse than I thought. And hey, who knows? Maybe there's some guys down here that I underrated last night or overrated last night. Let me know down in the comment section. Who's too high? Who's too low? Let me know. And as always, of course, I will see you boys in the next one.